you guys, this is JudyAdele, and I'm here to do another music reaction video. This is the last of the birthday takeover. I couldn't go through some of my birthday favorites without having at least one Boy George or Culture Club song. That would be very wrong. So this one is in the Boy George era. I did see a live performance of him. Fantastic performance. But I didn't choose that one because I wanted to see the video. I haven't seen the video in years. And this is just such a great song. It's a Hare Krishna song, and I know that when I saw him in concert in whatever year I saw him, and I was talking to the person who was running his fan club at the time, and she said that he won't do this song because there's just so much controversy and threats around it. So that made me sad because it's just one of the songs that he did that I just think is amazing, and it has a little special place in my heart as well. The day that I left India, we were in a mall. Maybe it was the day before we left India, actually. We were in a mall, and we were at Haldiram's picking up some delightful treats to take home back to the US with us. So I walked out of Haldiram's and into the main mall area, and I basically was going to use the restroom. And when I was walking back to Haldiram's, this song came on. And I was just so excited to hear this over the PA system, right? The music system there. And it just felt to me, often George stuff for me has come up at very, very strategic times that I never know quite what to make of it. But if there is something in the universe that orders things, I feel like sometimes it feels a little bit more than random. So this is one of those things where I was just like, it felt like a hello, goodbye to India, almost had that feeling, right? To me from India. And I just remember listening to it, walking through the mall, singing along, just at the top of my glory to be hearing this and just enjoying every little note of it and having that feeling like someday I will be back. I haven't been back yet. I really hope to go back to India at some point, but it just felt like that piece of, I don't even know what to say, just like this is home, or in some way. And it was just a really neat thing, and it couldn't have been timed better because it was literally less than 5 minutes before we left the mall, and that was kind of like our end to go back to our apartment and finish packing and leaving. So that moment has always stuck with me as a thought and as like a literal just feeling in my body. I can remember what I was seeing. I can remember the colors that were surrounding me and just the joy that I felt. So this song speaks to me in just that connected way. And it's just I think it's a beautiful song. I hope you enjoy it too. So this is Bow Down Mister by Boy George. Fun. Sorry. Batage. Okay, wait, before we get into this, for my George people out there, this was released, I believe, in 91. Hi-Hat, the album Hi-Hat. God, do you guys remember that? Hi-Hat was so good. And then there was Tense Nervous Headache, which was released in England, and they were so good there. I haven't listened to either of those for a really long time, and I really need to. Anyway, so Hi-Hat had the song Whether They Like It or Not. Does anybody hear that in this little bit here? Whether they like it or not. I just feel like it just comes so close to that. Anyway, all right, let's go back. MC Kinky! Dun, 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 dun.
From Bombay to Bangalore, all the Hindus know the score. If you wanna live some more, Hare Hare Hare. If you do not take the vow, you can eat the sacred cow. You'll get karma anyhow. Hare Hare Hare. Bow down, mister. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Krishna. Bow down, mister, we say Radhe Shyam. Do the right thing with your hands, lay down on the pleasing sands, whatever else your faith demands. Hare Hare Hare. From Bombay to Rajasthan, Nitai go, Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Hare. Bow down, mister, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Bow down, mister, we say Radhe Shyam. Bow down, mister, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Bow down, mister, we say Radhe Shyam. Desert Kashmir, paper kankan in their hair. At the westerners they stare. Hare Hare Hare. Paint a tilak on your brow, open like a lotus flower. It's time to check your karma now. Hare Hare Hare. Bow down, mister, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Bow down, mister, we say Radhe Shyam. Bow down, mister, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Bow down, mister, we say Radhe Shyam. Bow down, mister, we say Radhe Shyam. Bow down, mister.
Okay, I love this next part. I love this whole song. The imagery is like, it's hard for me. I'm watching this video because my brain is just so absorbed by this song. I just love the energy that is. So I'm like watching the visions just kind of go by, but I'm not totally taking it in. It's fun to see George's face in some of it because he looks so pleased is maybe the wrong word, but just occasionally the look on his face is really fun. All right, back to this because I love the way this song enters this next section. I don't know. I really enjoyed that song. I remember it when I was younger than when this song came out by a little bit. I remember having a discussion so I grew up Missouri Synod Lutheran, and we had a discussion about My Sweet Lord, like the George Harrison song. And that was also a song that I loved. And I have to tell you, I was really disappointed, right? Because I didn't realize. Okay, I don't know how to explain this because I wasn't aware of Hare Krishnas. I'd heard the word. I knew very little about them. When George was Hare Krishna, I was very interested and very intrigued. And I remember My Sweet Lord being out, and I don't think I fully caught on to that being a Hare Krishna song, but I loved the song. I loved the energy. And I remember us talking about this in Sunday school, and I just felt disappointed because I wasn't going to give up my Sweet Lord song. even though they were really happy with it. This wasn't pointed at me. This was a general discussion. I don't remember how it came up, but we were talking about other religions and songs and music on the radio. I think was part of it was what people were actually listening to, and this one came up. And at this point in time, it was it was a song. I don't remember when. Well, let me just look quick. Okay, My Sweet Lord was out in 1970. I was pretty confident that it was a song that was just part of my world in existing on this planet. I just remember kind of being bummed because there was this music, this great song that to me felt energizing and it felt positive and it just felt like I wanted to listen to this song. I didn't have that experience a lot with the music in my church. I enjoyed the music, but it wasn't something that I went home and went like, oh, let's throw that on the record player. So anyway, I just remember that this came out and I remember this song and I was just so sure that my mother was not going to find it pleasing, and she never, in my recollection of memory piles, she never said anything, and maybe she didn't catch on either, but I just love that song. And anyway, I think how much power music has for us. And I think when it comes to religious music and things like that, I know everybody has their own opinion and that's completely fine. But I know I think of what draws me and excites me about music. And that's not to say it all needs to sound like My Sweet Lord and Bow Down Mister. Definitely not, right? There can be a whole different contemplative and musical a lot of stuff and expression, and that is beautiful and wonderful and perfect, and I love that. But it is fun to be taken in by that kind of energy. And I know some would argue, probably my Sunday school class, that I shouldn't be listening to My Sweet Lord, shouldn't be listening to Bow Down Mister, because it then pulls you into that direction. And I can't say that I became a Hare Krishna because of listening to Bow Down Mister probably so many times over and over and over again. But it was a thoughtful appreciation and curious, and it was something that George was interested in, and so therefore Judy goes and is interested in. So somewhere I have a few books worth of knowledge sitting in here that I haven't tapped into in a really long time. That all being said, I hope that you enjoyed it and it was some good energy for you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. For those of you from India, I'd love to hear from you as well. So I have to tell you, side note, the light that's going on, where are we? Right, well, back there, is white. It's green and yellow on my wall, and I find light fascinating, and I find how it appears in pictures and when it's different. I know I've tried to take some pictures of some really deep cobalt blue, and like the purple will disappear, part of the color will disappear. And so I'm just fascinated when I saw this on camera, and I'm like going, oh my gosh, it's turning white. Like, I'm looking at yellow and green. So the balloons in my living room and my fancy tablecloth that I've got strewn over my mic stand are, I'm seeing reflections of green and yellow, and you all are seeing white, and it's just taking that out, and I find that fascinating. So I don't know, I could probably study light and enjoy it. I don't know about it as much as I should, for I'm somebody who is sensitive to certain types of light, certain LED light, like how the light just like hits you in the face. It's not like it's not. There are some LED lights that I've seen, that, how normal light, it just coats everything around you, right? And then there's some LED lights that feel like they poke you in the eye. This is my experience anyway, and they don't really light anything around you. I noticed this most when I was doing some dog sitting at a house, and they had changed their night lights in their hallway, and it went from like being this sort of beautiful light that let me see at night to being like painful to look at, and it didn't light the floor at all. And they actually changed it back because they noticed this as well. So anyway, the LED thing is very fascinating, and I see refresh rates. If any of you know what that is, I see when lights have very low refresh rates, and I can see them blinking, and it makes me crazy. But it is fascinating, and I know not everybody sees that. I know some of you, I'm curious, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Are there any refresh rate seers out there who see cars coming down the street, and you just see the strobe light, and you're in the car and you're trying to talk about this with other people, and they're like, I don't know what you're seeing, you're crazy, right? And then when you find somebody who does see refresh rates, it's like, yes, my people. Anyway, Lighting is fascinating. I don't feel like I struggled with that with incandescent, but fluorescence and LEDs has been a whole new experience of seeing light and seeing how light can act on things and in areas and how it lights and how it doesn't. So that is a rant or a conversation perhaps that we could probably have fun hours of discussions on. But I will spare you here, since that is not the goal of this channel. And I will bid you adieu. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for indulging me in my my birthday fun. And I really appreciate it. And I thank you all for all the wonderful comments. I am very behind on comments. I have read some and I want to get back out there and I will get to them at some point. It's just been a really crazy time. So thank you so much for being wonderful and supportive in your great comments. Going back to school has been a very different experience than I thought it would be. So I'm looking forward to it as I move forward. But it's definitely a whole new challenge, and I miss this and I miss your guys' comments. So know that I'm paying attention and I'm trying to read them and hoping to get back to more of them. But your words have been actually really helpful as I'm making this interesting and challenging life shift. So thank you all for all of it. I really do appreciate it. It has meaning to me, even if I haven't responded to you yet, for those that I have read, and I'm looking forward to reading more. So thank you again. Thank you so much. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the other videos that we have. And your requests, do keep them coming. It's going to be slower, but I still love to hear them. And if you don't mind putting them down, we will keep trying to get to them. So who knows what the future holds. All right. Thank you so much. Take good care. We'll see you soon, and enjoy the music. I hope you do, and I hope you have. And have a great time. Have a wonderful day, and see you soon. Bye.